The US has a lot to learn from China when it comes to cancel culture. In the US, getting canceled generally means there's a lot of people for several days talking about you on Twitter, just how much of a horrible person you are. There's probably going to be a trending hashtag in honor of you. But in China, when you get canceled, you actually disappear. Well, your works disappear. So if it's a movie or a TV show or a song, it will not get streamed anymore. Your name gets erased in the credits of all the works that you have done. You get erased from the internet, their internet. Then people actually are prohibited from talking about you. Companies are prohibited from working with you. You stop getting services and getting serviced from certain institutions, and then if you burp, you actually land in jail. that's, that's China's cancel culture for you. Okay, so the last part of that is actually a joke, but it is true that in the China's entertainment industry is in the government's crosshair. China's President Xi Jinping is cracking down on anything that could remotely resemble activism and liberalism that goes against the principles of the government. It doesn't matter how big of a star you are. If you show, or if the government ever gets an inkling that you are being too rebellious for them, then you get erased. Zhao Wei is actually one of China's biggest stars. For those of you who don't know, she's sort of like a combination of Beyonce and Jennifer Aniston and Meryl Streep. That's how big of a star she is in China. She became a billionaire. She's an actress, she's a director, she's a businesswoman, and she actually completely controls her own career. And she earned that. Actually, she attained major stardom in the late 1990s with the TV series My Fair Princess, and she also starred in John Woo's epic Red Cliff, and directed the 2013 hit film So Young. Along the way, she got entangled with a lot of scandals. She was criticized for wearing a dress that resembles the flag of Japan, and then for some time she was actually banned. So she was doing some business, some investments, but she was banned from their stock market, their trading securities regulator. Yeah, securities regulator. She was banned for 5 years, but it did not faze her. She came back strong, and as I've said, she ended up actually being a billionaire. Wei had, before she disappeared, she had 86 million followers on Weibo, which is the equivalent of Google and Twitter of Japan. But then her account actually got deleted. All mentions of her on the internet also gone. All of her TV shows and movies, they all are not getting streamed by major streaming companies in China. Entertainment companies are now not working with her. They are prohibited from working with her, and she's being refused service by certain establishments in China. It is also prohibited to talk about her in any websites or forums in China. There is no official reason given as to why Zhao is being erased, is being cancelled in China, but many are speculating that it's because of her association with Jack Ma, which is Jack Ma is the founder of Alibaba, which is sort of the Amazon for wholesalers, and they're based in China. Now, Jack Ma sort of said some things, criticized the financial policies of China, and that's a no-no. You cannot criticize the government ever in China. And so he fell from grace, and because Zhao is highly associated with Jack Ma, then everybody thinks that that's sort of the connection why she's also being canceled. This is not the first time, however, that the Chinese government has gone after celebrities in China. But this is by far the strictest that they have ever done, and this is the most far-reaching that their effort has ever been. Authorities are especially paying attention to the youth of China. In fact, the Cyberspace Administration of China released certain guidelines that they feel young people that are following the entertainment industry, that are supporting certain artists, this is a guideline that everybody must follow. They prohibit fan projects like, putting up billboards, and posters and ads to celebrate birthdays of certain celebrities. That many fan clubs are very much into that. They don't allow websites ran by fans dedicated to certain celebrities. They also actually shut down an idol talent show recently because they feel that it's an unhealthy influence among young people. They feel, the Communist Party of China, they feel that the popular culture and celebrities must support the party's ideology. So they've always kept the entertainment industry in a short leash. But on the other hand, they also nurture its growth. In fact, they finance certain movies and certain projects if they feel that those projects actually support the ideology of the Communist Party or promote the culture and the country of China in general. Xi, however, the current president of China, is becoming increasingly obsessed with controlling every aspect of China's entertainment industry, especially since the growth of Chinese economy actually stalled for several years now. He said that there should be some sort of a common prosperity. That's the term that he used, common prosperity. So he promised his people that he is going to redistribute wealth to the poor, to everybody. He will redistribute it. So those high earning celebrities and business tycoons, they are going to be forced to share their wealth to people who don't have money. So they are now sort of getting they're becoming the target of the government, and the wealth that they have built is becoming the target of the government. The Communist Party actually believes that when celebrities that are earning billions or millions of dollars are flaunting their fashion and their luxury, basically, it reminds people of the ever widening gap between the rich and the poor in China. So for example, Wei gets paid like 20 million for certain projects, for movies or for a TV series. On the other hand, they said that there are 600 million Chinese that are earning $140 per month. So it's not fair. From an ideological perspective, they kind of want and are forcing celebrities to become role models or to become brand ambassadors, and the brand is the Communist Party. They want these celebrities to help promote the values of patriotism, and love for the government and love for the country. And in all fairness to many of their celebrities, many have actually responded to the call. On social media, actors and singers and influencers, they've all reached out, and they frequently defended the Chinese government, speaking up in support of the Hong Kong police during the 2019 conflict. So some of them, and many of them, have actually responded to that call. But then Xi still doesn't think that that's enough. He wants more. He wants those celebrities owning big houses and expensive cars and Italian fashion brands. They want them to stop. They want those celebrities to stop doing all of those things because they think that it's moral decay. And then they're also questioning just how loyal fans can be to certain celebrities. When Chris Wu was arrested for sexual harassment and for rape, there were some talks online in China of different fans that are planning to rescue Chris Wu from detention. We don't know what's going to happen next. We don't know what will happen next. We don't know who's going to get canceled next. But I do know one thing for sure, that looking at China as a nation and looking at their government and how they run things, that shouldn't affect how we treat and how we look at Chinese, the people that we know, Chinese people that we know, whether it's at work, whether it's a friend or as an acquaintance. They're still people with their own ideas, their own thoughts, and their own reasoning. We shouldn't, if we disagree with how the Chinese government is doing it, it shouldn't affect how we treat them. It shouldn't affect how we look at them. They have, as I've said, they're people. You know, more than being a Chinese, they're human beings. They have their own ideas, they have their own lives. So, you know, if you want to understand more about how they look at what their government is doing, we should ask. And if they want to share, then let them share. If they don't want to share, then leave them alone. But remember, their politics aren't necessarily their people.